Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Dave Hodge. I'm Director with Focus Educational Software. The purpose of my talk this afternoon is to relay some of the experiences that I've had over the years working with UKTI and running an educational software company that sells into both the UK and into overseas market. Please remember at the end of the talk, if you wouldn't mind filling out the form about the effectiveness of the talk, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much. How do we manage and find overseas distributors? The four main ways that we've come across that is by word of mouth, trade shows, inquiries, direct approach. I don't think that any of them are any more important than any of the others. They're all a vital part of the mix. Okay, a little bit of history of Focus. We were established in 1998. We're a UK publisher of science and technology e-learning resources, and we've won a lot of tenders over the years supplying into different EU countries, and we have a network of distributors based around all over the world. How did it all begin? Well, a little bit of background of Focus. In 1998, two of us who were a couple of friends came up with an idea of producing a program for design and technology into schools. We really didn't know what we were doing back then, and we put together a program, copied it to a few CDs, mailed to 5,000 schools in the UK, crossed our fingers, and then over 800 schools in the first month decided that we were quite a good bet and bought the program. It was pretty much flying by the seat of your pants back then. Not many people knew what they were doing, and we just thought we'd take a punt and see if there was a market. What happened next? Well, over the next 6 years, or over the next 3 years, we developed 3 programs and came to bet for the first time in 2001. And that really opened up a lot of ideas for us. We found that we could get access to distributors, we could get, importantly, feedback from teachers, we could look at new technologies that were around, and we could also research new ideas for programs. Bet's a great place for pinching ideas from other companies to find new products for your own. Okay, in 2004, we first came across UKTI and we signed up for the Passport to Export scheme. That was a great way for us to get some access via the Trade Access Program, Trade Show Access Program, and it gave us some confidence in talking to overseas distributors and a chance to meet like-minded companies like ourselves, where we could really discuss with people, having lots of time, and finding out what overseas distributors wanted from us. Very important to have face-to-face discussions. In 2005, I'm treating this very much as a history of us, and showing you how the company's developed over the years. One of the key points for us is been working with other companies. In 2005, Connect Industries came to us and asked us to design a piece of software to accompany one of their products. This was a Connect kit called Design and Create, and what they didn't have was they didn't have any teaching tools to go with the program. And one of the ways that we found very effective in selling into foreign countries and into our own home market is to link our products with hardware. So we find a company that produces a product, we then produce a piece of software to accompany it. That was in 2005. The next year, in 2006, we were approached by TTS, who were part of the RM group. They had produced a robot called Bebot, and hundreds of thousands of Bebots were sold into UK schools. What they were lacking was the teaching materials to go with the Bebot. So our job was to produce the piece of software. they would sell the software to a company, Bbot, and we would also sell the Bbot to accompany our software. So it's a nice two-way street. It also gave us some access to foreign markets which we would not easily have identified ourselves. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice a bit here. That program now is available in 11 languages. I never thought in 2006 that I would spend 6 years designing software for basically children's toys. But it's been a very interesting journey. In 2008, we won one of the BET awards, and Bbot Lesson Activities 3 is shortlisted for another BET award this year. Between 2006 and 2008, some of you will be familiar with the Curriculum Online scheme, which was a national scheme in the English state schools. That was funding for digital purposes for English state schools. If you were registered on the Curriculum Online scheme, then times were pretty good because every school had to buy software. And that was very good for us for 3 years. So we had the Bbot software, we had the Connect software, we had the Curriculum Online, everything worked quite nicely. And then in 2008, 2 things happened. 1, Curriculum Online finished, and 2, we had the global recession. So things weren't quite so happy in 2008. Curriculum Online ended, funding was cut to UK schools, so our main solution for that was to look overseas in a lot more detail. How did we do it? Well, working with UKTI was one of the main constituents of that. First of all, we improved our website SEO. So effectively, distributors found us. So we didn't have to go looking for them. Then we also translated our programs into a number of foreign languages. We translated into Arabic, we translated into Russian, several European languages, really to test the water. Then we also started to get on the planes and visit. So we went to GES in Dubai, we did the ITA exhibition in the USA, and we took our products along, demonstrated them, talked to some distributors, found out that in some countries there was a market for our products, in some countries there weren't. But one of the ways to do that, you have to get on a plane and visit to really find out. We also then started to participate in EU tenders, mainly to accession states, so countries like Cyprus, Malta. Working with distributors on the ground, we won tenders to supply all schools in those countries. But very much it was a case of distributors finding us via our website. Those distributors then said to us, well, okay, there's a tender coming up, let's participate. And interestingly, they weren't necessarily companies that were linked with our industry. So in Malta, we worked with a company that was a distributor of chemical supplies. And in Cyprus, we worked with a company that basically produced model kits. And those companies had no experience of selling software at all. But working with us, we could tell them about the software and they could sell our software for us. We also commissioned a number of OMIS reports. OMIS is the Overseas Market Information Service. Going back to 2008, 2009, a lot of the information that came via OMIS was free of charge. Nowadays, you have to pay a little bit more for it, but you get a real in-depth report based around a market that you're interested in distributing to. We also signed up for the UK Gateway to Global Growth. That effectively enables you to get some match funding and enables you to go to a number of markets that you wouldn't necessarily go to without the funding. Excuse me. What are our overseas successes? Well, as I mentioned briefly, 2009, we won a tender to supply all schools in Cyprus with a program called Focus on Climate Change. And then in 2010, Maltese schools purchased all of our science software. In 2011, 2013, the Bebop program went to Russia, went to Slovakia, went to Mexico. The robots traveled everywhere. And wherever the robot travels, our software tends to travel as well. And that's working with one main distributor who then works to sell our products overseas to other distributors. And we also sell direct via our website to hundreds of individual schools as well. So it's very much a mix. Where in the world do we sell to? Well, that's growing all the time. That depends where the distributors come from and where we can fit in with a particular curriculum. What do we think the secrets of our success are? There are 3 or 4 of these. One is system compatibility. Make sure your products work on everything. So our products will work on Windows, iPad, Mac, Android, and that's very, very important nowadays. You also need to have some unique resources. Over the last 15 years, we've developed a range of products. Each one fits a certain niche. And importantly, we've looked for unique areas of the curriculum. If we can find an area of the curriculum that nobody else has designed for, then you've got a fighting chance of actually selling your products. And then a distributor will look at it and say, well, okay, nobody else has produced a piece of software related to that area. Let's see if we can sell it into our market. Foreign language version is also very important. There's only a small part of the world that you can sell English language software to, effectively. So you have to be prepared to translate. And we will translate into any language. But the important thing there is if the price is right. You can spend an awful lot of money and time translating products into a foreign language and then find that there's no market for it. So we tend to submit English language software first of all, get it assessed, get it accepted for a contract, then we do the translation process as a final stage of the process. Number 4, and probably one of the most important, if not the important, is to look after the distributors. So at Focus, we have 4 main points. We always supply the product on time, okay? A distributor's being put under pressure by the end user or the customer, and so therefore we must make sure we get our product there on time. We always provide web and brochure artwork as well, so if a distributor requires artwork or requires a brochure, then we will do our best to provide that for them, because that's one less expense for the actual end user. We also offer competitive discounts. Distributors are always keen to find those. And we also give free technical support. So if somebody is using our software anywhere in the world, they will know they get free technical support from the moment they buy our products right until the time they stop using them, if that's ever happens. What's new? Most of what you've seen so far has been related to Windows software programs. What we also do now is we have a Focus e-learning server. The important thing there is that it will work on everything. So any device, it doesn't really matter. It will then be translated into whatever language, and it can be customized for the country as well. So flexibility is a very, very important part of that.